give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight it's the RGR Winston Xfinity Series. We're here at Rockingham for the Rockingham 160. I'm Dean Doucette. He's Jared Carr. Jared, Rockingham, man, something a little interesting, a little different here.
Dean, this is you're putting it mildly, this is one of the hardest tracks these guys will run all year long. This track eats tires, and if you put one tire wrong on this track, it will bite you, and you will live to regret it for the next 20 laps, Dean. It's such a difficult track, but the good thing is it makes good racing. There's a lot of grooves you can run. There's a lot of moving around, a lot of comers and goers that I expect are going to happen in this race. I'm excited to see how this is going to transition.
Well, me too, Jared. I mean, this is one of the first tracks I ever drove on iRacing. Got to tell you, Jared, I didn't think I would be a good iRacer after that experience.
Yeah. Rockingham definitely will make you humble in tracks like it. But tonight I think that these guys, we've seen this year how they can handle these really intense tracks, and I think you're going to see who the cream will rise to the top tonight, Dean.
Absolutely. And on top of the points, we've got Greg Ratliff. He's got a good lead still. Reckers in second, Ripka third, Bruce in fourth, Newton fifth. You got Person, Leal, Jason Spear, Beller, and Gilly in your top 10. So the Toad Man cracks the top 10. That's always nice to see. Guys are going to need a race here. Someone needs to shake the Ratliff up.
Yeah, Greg Ratliff is doing such a good job out front, and Dean, he's been so consistent, right? That's the thing, is like guys are beating him. He might not be winning every week, but he's finishing third, he's finishing second, he's finishing fourth. That's not going to cut into that point lead at all.
No, that's right, and that's what champions do, right? They're always in the top 5. You're going to have to go take it from them. They're not going to give it to you. Interesting, though, here tonight in a league known for green flag racing, Jared, a place like the Rock. I mean, you got to think there's going to be a lot of green flag racing, which means it's a 114-degree track right now. They're going to come into what you talked about with this tire wear situation.
This is going to be an intense race tonight, Dean. I mean, there is no way of putting this mildly, folks, while watching at home. This track is hard on a cold track. We raced this thing back in, I want to say, January, February, which is the March time in game. Track temp was like, fucking, I apologize for the language there, about 90 degrees. And tonight, Dean, it's 114. That is going to be a big difference. It was hard then. It's going to be hard here tonight.
Yeah, going to be super difficult. Can't wait to get it going. There's George Dibble coming off. George in 11th in points, so he'll be looking to make that move into the top 10. Always like seeing the McDonald's machine. Yeah, just start thinking about burgers.
Yeah, hard not to.
You got to get me a quarter pounder, Jared. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I had McDonald's, Dean. My brain's all over the place right now.
I tell you right now, it might be 20 years since I had McDonald's.
20 years. I've definitely had 20 years, but 15 might be around that time, yeah.
All right, enough McDonald's talk. McDonald's gets more airtime around here, I tell you, because I'm always hungry, folks. Let's get into tonight's starting grid. On the point, Mr. George Leal, who won last week, looking to make it 2 in a row with a time at 24.801. Greg Ratliff, your points leader, will start on the outside of row 1. It's Lance Ripka and Jeff Ward in row number 2. Brandon Sheffield, he made a real nice debut last week. Looks strong. Watch out for him. He'll start 5th. Bernard Person, who had just won a few in a row a couple of weeks back, so watch out for him as well. Scott Olson in the He-Hut machine will start 7th with Paul K. Travis in 8th. You got Adam Rucker along with Darren Bruce in row number 5. Row 6, you're going to have Adam Newton and Claus Williams. Row number 7's Beller and McCanny. You got Maurer and Hund. 17th, Jason Spear. 18th, the Toad Man, Todd Gilly. Rachel Hunt, start 19th. Mike Brown in 20th. Walker, Williams, Aber, Whiting. That runs you to 24th. And you got Dibble, Rincon, and Corey Leal rounding out a 27-car field.
Well, Dean, you got through the whole field all by yourself there. I'm glad I got a little break there.
Unassisted, baby. That's $5 right there.
Triple double, no assist from Dean there.
Triple double, no assist. That's interesting. Anyway, we're about to go racing, folks. Ken Leal make it 2 in a row here. Very difficult track. We talked a lot about it. Excited to see where this one goes. Pace car off the track. Leal and Ratliff start them off.
And a good start by Ratliff there on the inside or on the outside, but Leo fighting back. Last week's winner at Indianapolis, and he pushes high in the middle of the corner. Dean, you'll see a lot to this race. It is difficult to get the car pointed down to turn 1. Ratliff fighting back on the outside, battling for second into 3.
Yeah, Ripka looking racy here as well, and Jeff Ward, I believe Jeff out here now. He's running this University of Kentucky car. That seems familiar. Is that not what Eric Beller races, Jared?
Well, I think Beller's got the chrome version. I believe Ward is running that black and white. Yeah, he's running a little bit different. He's got Lexington Distillery on there. Been there a few times. So, yeah, nice paint there.
All right, so we got 2 Kentucky guys out here and maybe one in the booth. Getting a little Kentucky-ish. George Leal already opening up. Now, clean air, is that important? I mean, it always is, Jared.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter the track unless we're talking about Martinsville, maybe IRP or something like that. But every other track, it matters. We got somebody on the apron back here, Dean, right around Adam Newton. I can't tell that number. Darren Bruce maybe almost wrecked going into 3. Get it back under control, though.
All right. Looks good. Those guys running side by side. Newton and Darren Bruce.
And Dean, I had to do a little research here because you know how I am about facts, history, and knowing stuff about drivers. I just wanted to double check on Jeff Ward on the iRacing service. Been on the service for 14 years. I thought the name sounded familiar. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've raced Jeff Ward going back something like 20 years ago, race on 2K3. So good to see him back out here.
Wow, there you go. A little historical facts there, and I would imagine someone his stature is going to be tough to beat tonight. Ward currently riding in 5th, right behind Bernard Person, as they put pressure on Ratliff. Boy, things are running tight up here.
Yeah, they are. And Dean, if he is the same person I'm thinking that ran like in Soars and things like that, back on 2K3, he was extremely patient and extremely difficult in the long run. So we'll see if that pans out here tonight.
Well, we got a lot of those guys in this league, so add another to the mix. And that's what we're seeing. Guys are gravitating towards this league. Why? Because they love green flag racing. That's what RGR provides here. I mean, this is some of the best racing you're going to find, old school style.
Yeah, you might have to find somebody else at the broadcast booth to rate this league's going, Dean.
There you go, Jared, getting interested here. We're going to get him back. Fixed racing yet.
But yeah, you look through this field, Dean, you're already starting to see some guys running the high side in 3 and 4, and I like that move because it definitely puts a lot more force on those right side tires, the right rear especially. This track, as you go along, this track tends to tighten up. So this track, if you go back in NASCAR history, right, Dean, this track is one of the most abrasive tracks on the service, most abrasive surfaces out there. Darlington being the most abrasive back in the day until it got repaved in somewhere in the mid-2010s-ish. But Rockingham hasn't been repaved. When this thing was scanned, it is scanned as it was in 2013 and no repaving. So this track eats tires like McDonald's burger, for instance.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, the high line here, I'm not that familiar with this track to speak on it, but I've heard some whispers, and I've heard about this high line in 3 and 4, so I think there's an advantage to be had there. We'll see who goes to it first and most often.
And Dean, if you would like to, at some point jump on board with a car, because I want people at home to know this from a TV camera. This track doesn't look super bumpy, but if you get on board, it is like running down a washboard. If you guys know what I'm talking about with that, it is bumpy. It'll make you sick sometimes. It's so bumpy.
Yeah, we hop on board with Brandon Sheffield here, who had a great debut race last week. Here you can just see the car bouncing up and down, getting thrown around. That wheel will get thrown around left to right as well, Jared.
Yeah, and you look into 3 and 4. I mean, it is even worse right there. Bam, bam, bam. And it's just hitting that splitter every time. And every time that splitter hits, Dean, it changes the balance of that car. And you have to be really mindful because it's uneven loading on the front of those tires. And that's what makes this track so hard on tire wear.
All right, we jump on board with Jeff Ward right in front of him making his debut. And he's got the telltale signs that you described. Quiet hands here, Jared.
Yeah. And like I said, I was probably like 15 or 16 when I was racing against him, and he was one of the best that I remember racing against. He was very consistent, very calm. If it is the same guy, I don't know that for sure, but I expect him to be a player, and you can just tell how smooth he is from that in-car view. But, Dean, I'm looking at this full range. It's sitting up here on the spotter stand, and we got 9-10 cars under a blanket here from George Leal all the way back to about Darren Bruce. Everybody lining up, and Leal is starting to back these guys up. Very difficult to pass here, Dean, and everybody's running really close, nose to tail, trying to figure out a way around here.
This is pretty wild. I mean, you often will see maybe 3 or 4 guys at this point in the run up here, but we've got 10. Very interesting. Anybody's game here. And, yeah, we're going to have to see, how do you pass, Jared? I mean, do you go up high and try and get a run on them up there?
Yeah, you're going to have to. And 1 and 2 has a good high line, but you have to be ginger through there, and you have to let it come in. And you can see right now Paul K. Travis starting to tease up there a little bit. He's not quite up there. And the thing is like when you look at it from a TV camera, right, Dean, it's a little bit easier to tell what you're supposed to do. When you're in the car, it is super bumpy on that high side in 1 and 2, and it kind of upsets your view and your balance going through that corner, like if you feel like you're going to cut down too soon. So you have to be really mindful of that. But once you get that high side working, and Paul K's going up in there, he's not afraid. He's up in that line I love here. So watch for Paul K to start making a move forward.
Yeah, it'll take a few laps to get used to it and maybe get worked in, but should start to work. I did notice Ward moved up there momentarily. He was just testing the waters. Maybe didn't like what he felt.
Yeah, Ward doing a good job. And Sheffield also doing a good job here. 2 newbies to the league, not to the service, I know that, but doing a good job. Bernard Person, he's running a little bit different line, and Ward, you see right there, he had to back out of the gas, Dean, into turn 2 because Bernard's just taking a different line there, and he can't figure out a way to get around Bernard.
Well, track position's so huge. Here we go, big run from Ward. Does he try and stink the nose? He does, but he can't get there. So that just shows you, even with a good run, it just kind of stalls out almost immediately after corner exit.
We've got a little bit of a battle back here. Adam Newton and Darren Bruce. That's off of 2. Battling side by side. Newton moved up to the high side. I thought that was going to work, and Darren Bruce was able to roll back to him. So Newton has re-cleared, but it didn't look like the high side's working too well. But up front, it's, George Leal leading the way over Buckshot Ripka. And Ripka starting to move up into that middle groove a little bit, trying to diamond, what I would call a late diamond, right, Dean? You dive in deep, get to the middle, and then cut down. And you see right now a lot of those guys doing that.
Yeah, I mean, you almost have to stall the car out. You're almost coming to a stop and making a left-hand turn.
Ward getting down there on that yellow line. He's going to get a run here on Bernard Person going down that front straightaway. He might have a look here. Bernard's going to open that door for him. Not going to pitch him off. But Ward's using that yellow line, and I love that technique. It's a technique that works really well here. Use that paint to your advantage. Help that car turn a little bit, Dean. But he got a little bit too much there.
See, that's the thing. He can't get off the corner, Jared. So he sees Sheffield coming, and he's like, I got to get back in line or I'm going to lose the spot.
Yeah, and Paul K. We got the real Ryan Robb out here rooting on Paul Travis and Mike Brown. And, well, let me tell you, Paul K. Travis starting to make some moves. Bernard Person up to the high side, Dean.
Jared, how do we know that's the real Ryan Robb, though?
Well, I don't know. I didn't see any verification there, so I don't know. It might be the fake one.
Could be the fake one, folks. Do not trust. Don't buy anything from him.
Paul, and Jeff Ward making that move on Bernard Person. He moved him up to 4th, and now Brandon Sheffield now.
Sheffield blinking too. He's having a bit of an internet problem, so watch out for that. The 36 though here underneath the 8 of Bernard Person. Oh, and a little bit of an odd movement there, almost brought them together.
It's so tight off that corner, Dean, because the high side, you have that momentum, and the bottom side, there is no momentum. You basically have to already have that pass cleared. And look how much time, look at the gap that's increased there since that move happened, Dean. It is getting pretty large.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what Ward initially was trying to protect against, right? Getting stuck down there. You don't necessarily lose a spot, but you're going to lose all your track positions. So you got to be careful of this. Side by side does not work here. Here we go. Now Paul Kay's got the run. So Sheffield's got to fall back, and instead of gaining one, he loses one. That's Rockingham.
Yeah, it is. And Bernard Person doing everything, doing a masterful job at making itself hard to pass. But all these guys behind him are starting to roll up to him. And you see, once Jeff Ward got clear, he's already caught up pretty much to the back of Greg Ratliff in 3rd place. So this battle right now, it's a little bit of a clump. You got a battle for the top 4, you got the next 4, and then you have pretty much a gaggle from the 9th place car all the way back to about the 20th place car.
Yeah, a bit of a line back in here. So all of these guys looking for a way to do something. Now this is where pit stops are really going to matter, Jared. We're looking at a green flag type of race here. In this league, it usually is. So pit stops, track position, going to be so important. Do I even have to ask what you like?
This is a track where the fuel number doesn't matter. You will run out of tires, and you will lose so much time if you do not pit once those tires fall off the cliff. You have the fuel number. Like I said, the fuel number, throw that out of the window. It doesn't matter whatsoever at this racetrack. If you try to stretch your fuel, you're going to end up falling behind. So it's going to be interesting to see what these guys do here.
Battle here on the track.
Oh, Bernard's in the wall.
Oh no, Bernard Person in the wall. He's going to be okay, but Paul Kay underneath him. Here comes Newton. Newton smells blood in the water. He's going to fill that spot. Sheffield tries to fill in. Bernie in a bit of trouble there. Back behind him, Beller, McKinney coming forward with Beller. They're running different lines. Behind them, you got Jason Spear battling with someone. That's a 16 of Claus Williams.
Yeah, this gear fit here. This is about 12 cars, Dean. I mean, this is a good race back through here.
Yeah, this is where all the fun is, back in this section here.
We got Jason Spear, Rachel Hunt, Claus Williams back here, Michael Walker. That's in the back half of that group. We got at the front Scott Olson and Eric Beller battling. I mean, this is this is why I tell people go to the racetrack. The TV doesn't do a good job. We can't cover everything here on the broadcast booth, and obviously I'm talking about real life. But if you go out there in real life, you're going to see battles like this all the time.
Oh yeah, great racing here. McCanny looking for somewhere to go. Bruce looking for somewhere to go. There's no room to be had.
And Dean, these cars are already driving terrible. They're driving so terrible right now. These guys are doing everything they can to hold on to them.
Let's hop on board with Bruce.
Oh, somebody's in the wall.
And Bruce almost into Beller.
Neon green car. I think that's the 93 or 95 of Austin Hunt. Yeah, it is the 95.
So Hunt up on the high side gets a piece of the wall. You can see here McKinney going up high as we're on board with Bruce, and it's just prevailing for him. These guys underneath them, you talked about it, the stall out. You just can't get off the corner.
Oh, McKinney dives it in. That's oh my goodness. I don't know if there was contact, but Olson very lucky there. McKinney, he's tight off the corner though. McKinney's going to get by.
Wow. So he threw him out of his rhythm there, and McKinney walks on by. Way up the track goes a 61. Beller throws it in there. Wow, Olson gives it up. Olson may have had enough. A little contact. He's like, I'm out of here, boys.
It almost looked like he had a tire going down. I know that's not really possible in iRacing, but he dropped off hard there for a second.
Well, I mean, it is possible on iRacing. You can go to 0.
That is true. That is true. I wouldn't think on lap 32 we'd be there, but maybe.
Yeah, it's not possible at this point, I don't
That's what I should say. Sorry, I apologize.
No, it's all good.
And Dean, you look at these top 4, Leal has started to increase that gap again, but you got Ripka, Ratliff, and Ward kind of under a blanket up in the top 4. And then that next group has kind of separated themselves out, that next pack of 4. Adam Newton.
Let me interrupt you just for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask you about Leal here. I've noticed this about him. You know, he is out here often, will open up, I don't know, sometimes up to a second lead or something, and then he'll kind of come back. And then he'll open it up a second time. What precipitates this kind of action?
Well, I mean, if you're... this is a good strategy. This is what you call managing the gap, and that's where you drive a lap time and you just try to maintain the gap that you want to maintain. And when guys start rolling up to you, if you have something in the tank and you've been managing that gap, you should be able to pull back out that gap. So right now I think that's what he's doing. That's something a lot of the pro guys do, is manage those gaps so they don't burn their tires off. So Leal doing a really good job of doing that. I think that's what he's doing.
All right, look in on the 22, Michael Walker the second. It looks like he's having a decent run. He's up 6 spots out here. James A. Bear is up 6 as well. He's in 17th spot. So these guys on the move a little bit. Check back in up front. Got to be approaching pits, but I don't know that that's true. I'm not sure what kind of fuel mileage you're going to get tonight, Jared.
It's 160 laps, a long race. To be honest, but I think that these guys,
and Bernie's
lap
in.
40. Lap 40 is kind of what I was thinking, yeah. But
so Bernard Person hits pit road. No surprise, because he looked like he wasn't agreeing with that car. So we've seen this from Bernie. He's been pitting earlier and earlier, sometimes to his own detriment, not having enough fuel to finish the race, Jared.
Yeah, ran out a couple weeks ago. So going to be interesting to see. If he's able to make this work. But like I said, I think guys are going to be diving on pit road for tires more than they are concerned about fuel.
Olsen comes in as well.
We're already almost, Dean, at 2 seconds of fall off. Started off, if you look at the lap times from, Greg Ratliff, George Leal, those guys, started off in the low 25s, 25.2, the best lap of the race. We're down in the 26.5s right now, 26.6s.
Yeah, the fall off wise, it reminds me of Dover a little bit.
It can, absolutely. Concrete tracks are very difficult on tires, for sure.
So even Ripka seemingly struggling a little bit not struggling, he's in second place, but it looks like Ratliff's starting to pull up on his bumper, here and there, looking to get by, but nowhere to go.
Everybody doing a good job. I mean, 40 laps, no caution. I mean, that's applause worthy at this track, how difficult it can get.
I mean, it's what these guys do. They preach it, and you said it, and here it is. Caution is out.
Oh, somebody hard in the wall right in front of Brandon Sheffield. Who was that? And Adam Newton involved, Dean. Adam Newton, heavy damage. Mike Brown got stuck on the wall, and yeah, just the Rockingham bug that this thing has. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Adam Newton stays done.
Not sure why the caution came out. Let's see if we can get a look at it.
Yeah, it was Mike Brown coming into turn 3.
I think that was late, though. That's after the caution, I do believe.
Looking right now at the cameras to see. I do not see a caution light on before that wreck, but I could be wrong.
10-4. So we're on Mike Brown here. As he goes around. I think we were a little behind here as everybody's coming on to pit road. We'll just speed this up a little bit to get to the actual wreck. There, he's in the wall there. He's in the wall again. Now he's up on the wall. My goodness. To 54, and he just comes down and Newton's dead. Wow. I mean, nothing he could do. Just bad luck for the Bulldog.
Yeah, that's terrible, and that's one of the bad things about this track. For whatever reason, this has been a bug on this track for years that has been mentioned before, and about wall riding, and it just launches you up. Unfortunate for Mike Brown and Adam Newton there.
So off of pit road, Leal, Ripka first out. Ward beats Greg Ratliff off pit road. Sheffield fifth. Nathan Maurer makes some gains on pit road. He's up 9 spots. Paul Kay into 7th. Bruce into 8th. McCanny and Williams, your top 10. Guys who got absolutely decimated here. Of course, Newton in that wreck. Person hit pit road, as did Olsen, before that caution came out.
Yeah, so that's going to cycle things around. It's going to be Leo, Ripka, Buckshot Ripka, Jeff Ward, Ratliff, and Sheffield top 5. But how about Nathan Maurer, Dean? He took a good pit stop there. I mean, doesn't look like he took 2 tires, and he's going to come out 6th place in that number 60 car. So good pit stop for the number 60.
Yeah, I mean, in a league full of guys who know what they're doing and run green flag, good long run, good pitting, Maurer consistently moves up through the field, and he's always there late. So considering it's still early and he's in 6th, I'd say he's a threat to win here tonight.
Yeah, he could be. I think that getting on off pit road like that and getting himself up into the front part of this field, now he's going to be able to show what he actually has.
Brandon Sheffield running in 5th right there in front of him. We got to get him some sponsorship here, Jared. Come on. Someone get out there and sponsor this machine. This is a possible future champion here.
Yeah, there's a few guys out here running. I thought there was another car, but maybe not. I mean, we got 2 Ford cars out here. We got Klaus and Randy running the same car basically tonight.
Yeah, that's a surprise. I know Randy, longtime Ford supporter, but perhaps some kind of secret synchronicity going on here.
These guys line back up, Dean, and you saw how that first run goes. And the thing about these cautions is it gives you a chance to reset, and you're like, oh, I figured out something that first run. I was starting to make moves. I was starting to feel this. I was starting to feel that. And now you get to put that to the test, a whole reset here. It's going to be interesting to see who's picked up some stuff and who is going to start falling through the field again.
Here we go. Leal, Ripka, Ward and Ratliff, Sheffield and Maurer. Lap 44 at 160 here at Rockingham. About to go green flag racing once again. Pace car off. Leal leading them down, and there he goes. Good start by Leal. Ripka, pretty good. Ward, a little slow. Not able to get underneath a Ripka, or is he? He's thinking about it, but no.
Yeah, dude kind of hesitated there a little bit, I think.
Paul
But
Kay
he's getting a look on it
make
now.
moves here, Jared.
Paul Kay on the outside.
On the inside of Maurer here.
Apologies, yeah, Maurer, yeah. Similar looking cars.
Good to see Paul Kay having a good run. He's overdue for one, Jared.
Yeah, he's had some good runs this year, but he's also had a lot of bad luck. I remember he's running the top 3 at Dover a couple months ago at this point, and got involved in a little bit of a wreck there on a restart, and just tough luck for Paul. But I think tonight really showing he's got a piece under him.
So guys,
my goodness, somebody loose back there. Is that Paul Kay?
Paul Kay loose off the high side. Bruce comes in, maybe gets a piece of him, but gets on through. Michael Walker the second to set the fastest lap of the race. My goodness, the 22 is fast tonight.
Yeah, and we got a change for the lead, Dean. Jeff Ward slides underneath George Leal, and Leal just let him go. Waved his hand out the window and let him go.
Wow. So lead change here. Let's get a quick replay on that. You see here, Ward just right there behind him, not even really looking. Gets a good drive off, though. Gets a nose underneath a Leal. And you're right, I think Leal just backs out early and says, go on by.
Yeah, I like that move from Leal. He's like, hey, this is the pace I'm going to run. If you can go faster, go ahead. I'm going to run 26 4s, 26 3s. And that's the lap. And Jeff Ward just put down a 24.9. First driver in the 24s tonight, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, you just gave him clear track. Watch out.
Everybody else getting single file back through the field. Everybody kind of bunched up here, trying to figure out what they've learned, trying to put something to use. Then after Jason Spear, that's where the second pack is back there. I think that is Adam Recker and the 25 of James Ebert and Rachel Hunt battling for 13th, but everybody else single file in front of them.
Yeah, single file up front. Single file, you're going to see it tonight. I mean, it's a track of patience. I think you brought that up. You've got to be patient here tonight.
Yeah, there is no other way. You race the track. Like we talk about that as racers, Dean. You should always race the track. Blah blah blah. Race the track. Race the track. No, Rockingham, you race the track. Darlington, you race the track. The other tracks, you can race each other, but these tracks, there is no other compromise.
Yeah, absolutely. See Ratliff underneath the Sheffield there. I don't know if that was for position or it was already Ratliff's, but he is currently in 4th, Sheffield 5th. Looks like Bruce looking to get a little racy here. Or not Bruce, my bad. Ripka up there in 3rd, looking for 2nd.
Just kind of looking through this field, and Jason Spears starting to run that middle groove. We got Rachel Hunt running that outside groove, so we'll have to keep an eye on those guys and gals to see how they move through the field. But I got to tell you, Dean, Jeff Ward, 1 second lead right now.
Yeah, it's a little scary. I mean, we don't know Jeff. You may know him, probably do. Seems like the same guy you're talking about. And if you give a guy like that the lead and clean air, oh boy.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be interested to see if he can hold this gap, because I know that Rockingham eats tires and the fall off's going to happen, but maybe the fall off happens later and he's able to pit before they catch back up. I'm not sure. We're going to find out. It's going to be interesting to see. It's good. Oh, and Paul K had to get off the gas. Darren Bruce got really loose off too. Apologies there on breaking my train of thought, but almost had a wreck there.
Yeah, Paul K continued to run the high side to not the best success, but not necessarily bad either. Watching Rachel Hunt, she just set her best lap of the race here. That's quite a ways after pitting, so that's interesting.
Rachel doing a really good job. I was watching her a little bit earlier as we have Nathan Maurer go underneath Sheffield for 5th to move him up. But Rachel was running the high side, Dean, and really doing a good job, and still doing a good job. She's caught back up to that main pack as we see McCanny going underneath Paul K. Travis off of 4 right in front of her.
Yeah, Williams down there underneath Paul K. McCanny right behind as the Fords look to double team here.
Yeah, apologies. They have the same paint job. The numbers are different, but yeah, I did. I definitely called that one wrong from where I'm sitting up here.
Picking on you tonight, Jared.
I had a week off, so I'm a little rusty. I apologize.
There you go. How was your week off, by the way? Trip down to Indianapolis, for those who didn't know?
It was fantastic. And, I went to a bunch of short tracks, a bunch of dirt tracks, and then I went to the big speedway, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So a lot of good racing. I have to say that IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park, was definitely the best race of the weekend. Watching some trucks in ARCA. Really good racing out there.
Awesome stuff. Wish I could have been there with you, Jared.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Come on down to the States tomorrow.
Oh, I'd love to. There's many trips I got to do. Some safer than others. Visiting you feels like a safe move. Going to see the Bulldog, I'm not too sure how safe it is.
Yeah, who knows? That could be a gamble.
It'll be fun, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I have no doubt. No doubt, dude.
Riding in Dina, 4th, Nate Maurer, we're on board.
Yeah, we're on board Nate Maurer, but it's the gap, the lead is 3 seconds right now, Dean. That's all I need to say.
It's crazy. I mean, Ward is setting a torrid pace. Now, if he's just this good, I mean, it's going to shock some people if he doesn't come back to the field here.
Yeah,
I don't expect him to, Jared. I really don't. I mean, you know as well as I do, if you get that clean air, you get out in the lead, you can have speed and manage tires at the same time.
Well, the thing is if you watch Ward, how he drives this track, it's totally different than just about everybody else around this circuit. He is using that paint.
Let me go on board here, and you just give us a little, tell us what you're seeing here.
So we're going down the back straightaway now, and he's going into turn 3. Gets down on that yellow line, uses that apron to kind of help the car turn, and then just rides that paint. And that paint has it allows you to turn. It keeps that tightness out of that car, and he's able to run that. And he's taking low entry, right? So down on that paint, cuts below that paint. It's an old school line. This is a line. If you watch the 2001 Rockingham Cup race that Steve Park won, it is the same line that Steve Park, Bobby Labonte, Dale Earnhardt in the 90s ran. You get below that yellow line on entry. You do an early entry to the corner, get down below that yellow line, and then ride the paint the entire time through the corner. And he doesn't miss it every time. He's the same way every single lap.
The other thing that this is effective at, and you can find this at a few tracks, and I'm a big proponent of the low entry at several tracks, but there's a good reason, especially here from watching what I'm seeing. I'm imagining they're braking, okay? And when you come in low like that, almost in that diamond, you straighten out the car right before a corner entry, and now you're braking in a straight line. Your car's not going to do funny stuff. It's not going to get out of shape, and you can just hook the bottom.
Absolutely. You're 100% correct, Dean. And you know, Ward being a wily veteran, it's really showing. And that gap just, I mean, it continues to go up.
You see this whole pack behind you. They're entering a car or two higher, right? And it's going to have that car just be a little bit more unstable. You're not going to be able to get into the gas quite as much, and that's your difference.
Yeah, that wide arc puts a lot of stress on the right rear, which is going to make you loose off. And this track already builds loose off really easily because of the way the track is with the forces and stuff. So right now, if somebody, you know, if you got a spotter, hopefully that spotter is getting in your ear and telling you, hey, Ward is up here cutting down below the apron, and not a single other car in this field is doing that.
Ward absolutely killing it.
Yeah, and you look at this main pack, though, Dean. Sorry to cut you off there. There's battles all over. I mean, the battle is for second place right now. It is a heated battle of about, let's see, 1.5 seconds from second all the way back to 11th.
Yeah, I mean, it's a war of attrition out there. Sorry, that's checking in with YouTube and Facebook there momentarily. But yeah, these battles, these are old school battles, Jared, and this is the kind of racing I like. Now, there's some tricks you can do, and you know the old vets will do them. You know, you got to get up there, fill that mirror, get right, make the guy in front of you uncomfortable. That's how you get by him.
Absolutely, and you see right now Ripka all over the back of Leo. Can he do something?
I mean, he's trying. You know, the further you go up this pack, though, the less you can make these guys uncomfortable. They're just so good. So, I mean, a lot of good race car drivers here, and Ward is putting them to shame as he's put down 4.6 seconds on these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal, and it continues to go up. The lap time, you know, he's running 6s, and, you know, Maurer is running 7s, to be completely fair, but Maurer's kind of stuck in a gap of a bunch of stuff going on. And, you know, right now, you look at this, Ward is just absolutely putting on a clinic, but Maurer and some other guys back here are putting down some good lap times. The thing is they need to start being faster than Ward, to start cutting into that gap. That gap is 5 seconds. And if Ward pits, you know, I just don't think that he's going to be catchable if he plays this strategy right, Dean.
Jared, I think it's only going to get worse. I mean, I think Ward is actually doing better with his tires than the guys chasing are with theirs.
Oh, Paul K in the wall. Sorry, Dean.
Paul K, he's been rocking that high side, and he's been getting success with it. Even there, with a touch of the wall, doesn't hinder him too much, currently in 6th place.
Yeah, but it just surprises me that nobody is running that Ward line. I mean, it is crazy. That line is there for the taking. Oh, Maurer is. Now Nathan Maurer is starting to run that line, and we'll see if he makes any progress here. But Ward is now at 4.6. But Dean, now he's starting to be slower than these guys. Leo 7.96, Ward an 8.17. So there is some transition happening, but is it going to be enough of a transition?
Yeah, Well, we'll find out for sure. But once you get out to 5 seconds, I don't think he's going to lose this lead. Like I said, my prediction, unless he lets off a little bit, is he's going to walk this out to 10 seconds instead of coming back to 2.5 seconds. It's just the nature of the beast. You get yourself a good line like that. That straight entry, like I said, Jared, there is virtually no tire wear on that entry, whereas everybody else has some.
Yeah, and that's the way you run the track, is the way he's running the track. You have to use the apron. Now, I have never ran the fixed setup here. I don't know how it drives. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. But when it comes to open setup, you have to get down below that yellow line on entry, ride the yellow line the entire way around, or you have to commit to the high side. There's no in between. If you don't hit that yellow line, you're going to have a bad time on the bottom. If you don't run the high side up against the wall, you're going to have a bad time. The middle just doesn't work. And right now we're seeing these guys, they're putting on a show, second on back, but that's about it right now.
Well, let's go to the back, so to speak, on the lead lap. Ricky Williams in the mellow yellow machine, currently in 21st. Eric Whiting, 20th. Is George Dibble back in 19th. Now, these guys are all up spots, believe it or not, so they're doing okay. The Toad Man right where he started in 18th. You got Eric Beller here, our other University of Kentucky machine. He may want to steal the other one. He's in 17th. You got Hunt in 16th. A-Bear 15th. There's Jason Spear quietly in 14th position. Rachel's up 6 spots. Rachel Hunt, that is, up into 13th. You got Wrecker and Walker the second, who's been running really quick times on occasion here. He's in 11th. He's up 10 spots, Jared.
Yeah, he is, Dean. And I took a quick trip down to the Infield Care Center, and I'm down here with the Bulldog, Adam Newton. Adam, thanks for joining us, man. Tough break for you tonight.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah, that wall bug got the best of you there, innocent bystander. Looked like you had a good piece, but talk a little bit about being on the racetrack. How tough is this place, Adam?
It changed a lot from practice. Now we don't have the sun on the track, so you're basically following the leader unless you want to try a different line. And I was catching those guys up front and doing a different line, so I think if people start venturing around, they'll find the speed to get up there to the front.
Adam, what do you think of Jeff Ward out here in the lead? Now he's opened up a 5-second lead, entering very shallow, almost diamonding these corners. What do you think about what you're seeing from him?
When I started to catch him right before the incident, I noticed we're running a very similar line, and he's making good time of it. He's not burning his stuff up.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Jared?
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Ward put on a clinic, but, how difficult you're talking about.
By the way.
Ward is in pit road, so there you go. I was wondering if that was going to be the strategy. Open up the gap and come in. Adam, since you're in here, brings up a good segue. What was the pit strategy here tonight if this thing went green? Like, is it a tire thing or is it a fuel thing?
It's tire, absolutely tire. Depending on how you pushed it, and he got in there kind of hot and slid his tires. If you pushed it real hard, you would burn up the right front some, but you would really lose the total speed of the car on exit because you're sliding on exit. So you had to be really methodical, and when you got down on the throttle to get off of exit.
Now,
that's really interesting information, Adam.
I got one important question for you. The people want to know, Adam, if I come down there to visit you, how bad of trouble are we going to get in?
Somebody needs bail money.
Oh, goodness. I can only imagine.
Randy McCanny hits pit road.
Hey, good call for Randy. I mean, he's running kind of mid-pack there and can't really make a move. Seemed like the high lines kind of died out, Dean. I don't see anybody really venturing up there as much as they were before.
No, it's just not that effective tonight. Why do you think that is, Adam?
Actually, the high line is where the high line to me was where it was in 1 and 2. That had the most speed And that's why I was closing in on them guys. So I don't understand why they're not running it.
All right, interesting info
There you
there.
go.
So it could be open. Ward just set the best lap of the race on his fresh. He's a 24.96, so no slip up from the 89 here.
Ooh, big battle back here. Darren Bruce almost in the back of Klaus Williams there in the 16 and the 15, Dean. And this is getting battly back here for 7th place.
Yeah, well, this is a track, right? There's no racing room, so if you want by, you're going to have to force yourself. You're going to let it known that, hey, I'm a little wild, I'm a little reckless, and maybe you'd best let me go.
I think, well, what happened, Klaus got loose off the corner, and Darren had to get out the gas. Good give and take there. I don't think there was anything malicious there.
I shouldn't have said it like that. I wouldn't put that on Darren. I'm just saying, in general, that's what I was talking about earlier, is you want to hound someone a little bit, right? Make them nervous, and maybe they'll just let you go.
Well, the way the car was tonight, if you got up on somebody, you can make them lose the rear of the car going in the corner.
Absolutely. I love that, too. That's something your teammate, Bernard Persson, used to do to me on the regular.
Now, with this deal, though, before they did the original pit stop on the caution, it was going to be a 20-lap swing on the early pit. But now you're looking more like a 40-lap swing on who can pit to make it to the end of the race.
So what is gas mileage here tonight, Adam?
Right now, what I had calculated for my run, I was going to pit on lap 48. And then we could run it on out in 3 pit stops and do the short pit. But I think that's about the earliest you can still come right now.
So what's the longest they can go on fuel, you believe?
The longest, it was 67 laps.
Okay, so we're getting, I mean, another few laps here and someone can make it, right?
Oh yeah, tires were king though. But the tires, from what I saw, even when I was in the wreck, you were already, if you wasn't pushing your stuff, you were already in the 60s and a 30-lap stint.
It's going to be interesting with Ward out there blistering around the track. You know there's people out here who are on a one stop from here. Ward's going to have to stop again as you see him come by Jason Spear and Rachel Hunt with those freshies. So he's coming back through the field, but he's a lap down.
Yeah, and you look at his lap times, Dean, 26.1, but he was held up in traffic quite a bit. I mean, he almost got wrecked, honestly.
Oh, and there. What's Bruce up into the wall? He come underneath Bruce, but it kind of rattled Bruce, and he almost got ripped by that bug you talk about, Jared.
Darren hit the wall the lap before when we were talking, so Darren's definitely got some damage right now.
Yeah, you don't want to get into that wall in the back straightaway. It's a issue that has been reported, but you know, who knows where it is in the fixing. You know, it's been 3 years at this point. But don't hit the wall.
Jared, soon.
Yeah, don't hit the wall at Rockingham. Just don't hit the wall right. Oh, Klaus Williams into the wall. He uses the turn, though.
Abear almost up. No, you're right. Williams into the wall. Abear underneath him. Almost got up into him. Now he comes underneath of Bruce.
Rachel Hunt slides up. Rachel Hunt's pitting. Hard pit.
Wow. That was an interesting pit for Rachel
Hunt. Klaus Williams is wrecking. Klaus Williams is wrecking right after that. Got loose off the corner just like he did that lap before. I don't know if we're under caution.
Walker's down there, dead. He does not look good, and he's still wrecking. He might hang on to it.
And that's exactly what happened to Klaus before, and Darren got out of the gas to prevent from running into him. But that time, Klaus tried to correct the car, and when he did, it overcorrected right into the side of Michael Walker. Tough break for both those guys running inside the top 15.
Well, the problem right now with the guys getting squirrely and stuff, to get the car to do what you need to on a long run, you need a little bit lower brake bias. But with the way the cars were handling, the cars were coming up off the ground, you know, in the straightaways and whatnot. So you didn't have any downforce, so you having to run a low steering ratio just to have control of the car, and it's too much when you hit the bumps.
Speaking of too much, if Ward has to pit again, and Leal, Ripka, and others only have to pit once, even with the tire difference, I'm going to lay money that Ward can't get back around all of these guys.
I will take that bet 100%. Tires are king. It doesn't matter. You try to do a one-stopper, it's over.
He's over here. Soon as these guys pit, he's going to be the guy in old tires. They're going to open up that gap on him again. And then he has to pit and chase him down. I'll take your bet, Mr. Carr.
Yeah, everybody out here listening, Adam, you can be the referee. Dean is in the wrong on this one. It is not going to happen. There is 0% chance that the fuel strategy is going to outplay the tire strategy.
Come on, George Wheel.
The only one, in my opinion, that can really pull this off, based off the chatter in the RGR channel, I think Spear could pull it off.
Ooh.
He would be my bet.
And he's three wide right now with Darren Bruce.
Mean? They're all within range right now, according to your calculations. There's only 62 laps to go.
But only a handful are realizing that. And see, like, with us, some guys study it, and some guys aren't thinking that way right now. Hey, I can make it on one stop.
Yeah, we'll see where all this pans out. Looks like something has happened with Beller. He's in the garage.
And I'll get a look in on that. I didn't see anything on my screen that happened to him.
Well,
but we'll get a look in on it.
Showed as a wreck and he jumped to the pit, so something occurred. Here we go, Ratliff making a move on Ripka here. So these two battling out. We seen earlier, side by side, not helpful. George Leal comes to pit road, lap 99. Just turned to lap 100. So the 51 into pit road. Abear comes in as well.
So looking at Beller, he got loose off of turn 4, locked it down, almost hit the inside pit wall there, or inside wall for pit road, but did not damage the car, so I think he's just getting a tow back to the pits. But something didn't agree with that car. Tough break for Eric. And we got somebody on pit road there.
Yeah,
Greg coming in hot. And that's a pretty good looking stop right there.
Well, and that's why I was telling you, man, it all depends
Paul K
on
sideways on
who's
going to
do something crazy.
Choo.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but we were dirting it onto pit road with Paul K.
Ripka has not pitted yet. He's in a gaggle of traffic with Brandon Sheffield. Ripka's coming in, so that's going to turn it over to Brandon Sheffield.
Ripka's in, and Maurer comes screaming in behind him, making up a ton of ground. Nate Maurer again, good on pit entry.
That's a whole big entry for him. Let's hope, if he didn't speed, that's going to be one of the best.
It looked clean to me, so great job there as far as I could tell. Sheffield first. Jason Spear up to second now. It's Adam Rucker into third. Dibble into fourth. And guess who? Jeff Ward up to fifth place. He is going to have an incredible lead here. So Randy McCanny on a similar strategy as Ward, 8 seconds back.
And the thing I noticed, Dean, is Ward has the slowest pit entry time, 46.9. Randy McCanny, for instance, 42.8. So if Ward pits again, he's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive on pit road, I think.
So Sheffield's in. Yeah, I mean, are you hedging your bets? Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely not. The tire strategy is going to play out and win unless we get a caution, obviously. So
I don't know. Leal currently 19 seconds behind Jeff Ward and closing. What's a lap time, Jared?
Fresh tires, you can do high, flat 25s. Let's say it's flat 25s.
Okay, so 25, 26 seconds. I don't know. This is going to be interesting, folks. Hold on. Get your popcorn ready. The final segment coming up. Right now, Jason Spears still on the track, 55 to go. He's your leader. There goes Leal unlapping himself.
So, yeah, and Spear, just to put that in perspective, he is only 6.5 seconds ahead of Jeff Ward, who has already passed George Dibble, who hasn't pitted yet. So that kind of, and Eric Whiting and Ricky Williams, those guys haven't pitted yet. They're going for the fuel and hoping for a caution, which I like that move. If you're in the back, hope for a caution. That's the smart move to do. But Ward is back in the lead.
Yeah, Spear come in there. Good entry by Jason as well. So he'll be in good shape when he comes out. He'll have very fresh tires. McCanny in second, 8.5 back. And Eric Whiting currently shown in third position right now. So good for Eric. He might have to pit, I'm not sure. And then George Leal. Leal's already made up about 2 seconds on Jeff Ward.
Yeah, and we talked about Maurer getting a good pit entry compared to Lance Ripka. It might have seemed that way, but the pit entry time almost identical. So looks can be deceiving, I guess.
So Ward with another pit stop. Jared, I just, how much did we bet again?
You said $1 million.
I did indeed. That's correct, sir.
Pesos, though? I thought it might have been pesos.
Yeah, it could be pesos.
$1 million.
We'll work it out
left.
later.
Oh,
Like
and almost
$10, right?
the James E. Bear almost got in the back of Jeff Ward. Sorry there, Adam. That was very precarious off the corner. And that's something Jeff's going to have to watch out for. He is slower than a lot of guys that are on fresh tires, and those guys may not expect that.
And that's the other animal when you're doing off strategy. You got to deal with faster guys, and then you got to deal with slower guys. So it's fun, but it's interesting. You're not necessarily like earlier in the race just running clean air lap after clean air lap, Jared.
And right now, we have 9 cars on the lead lap. Darren Bruce is the next one trying to get his lap back, and then Paul K. Travis. Both of those guys should get their lap back probably in the next couple laps here. And that's going to change things up. But I think, you look at Jeff Ward. I mean, he's already gone 30 laps. He's probably splitting this thing in half, I would guess. So I'm guessing probably in the next 10 laps or so, he'll probably come down pit road.
Well, I was just about to ask you that. What I guess optimum-wise, he's going to split it, correct?
That's what I would think, yeah.
I mean, if you wait too long, those freshies, you just don't have enough laps. I mean, I've done it. You wait to 20 to go or something, and you just don't have enough time.
Yeah, exactly, and that's going to be the thing. He's going to have to. I think 30 to go is kind of the latest he could stick this thing out.
Ward currently last lap at 26.4. We'll wait at the line. I think this one will be a little slower.
Oh, he's coming in
now. I love this call from Jeff. Now, I'm betting against him, but I love this move. The earlier pit stop. He's going to have fresh enough tires, but he's got a ton of work to do, Jared. I don't know, $1 million. I can't wait. I'm going to Disneyland.
There you go. I think you're only allowed to do that if you win the Super Bowl. But you could do it, I guess.
I could do it. I'll shut that place down. Randy McCanny out front here, leading the way now. How about that? The 12, the Ford machine out front.
Yeah, and Randy McCanny, I haven't seen him racing in a long time, so good to see him back out here.
Now, he pitted on lap 82. Adam, if you're still here, I guess that's a no-go to the end, right?
Yeah, he's going to be about 15 laps too short.
Okay, so Randy will have to pit. That brings us to George Leal, who's currently in second, would assume the lead at some point. We look back for Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward currently 21.8 seconds back of George Leal. How interesting is this?
But yeah, he didn't lose a lap, Dean. That's how he actually... I'm trying to make sense of this. He did a 37-second pit lane time, which is 5 seconds quick. Did he take 2 tires? There's no way, right?
Let's go in on our pit board here and have a look at Mr. Ward. So Ward with a 9.7 stop. That is, in fact, a 2-tire stop.
That is right sides only. I just looked at the replay. Right sides only. That's... Jeff is a wily veteran. I'm pretty sure this is the same Jeff I raced against 20 years ago as a young kid. If it is, this is not surprising.
Well, let's tell the people what a 2-tire stop, in particular 2 right side tires, are going to do to this car on a full fuel load.
It's going to loosen it up. The plain simple of it.
So
it's gonna...
do you think he would short fuel the machine to counteract that?
Yeah, and if he's short fueling it, he'll put down good lap times and things like that. And the left sides, I don't know how much they wear here, but he might be able to gap this thing back up pretty quickly if he's on low fuel, because you've shifted the balance, right? If you take the fuel out of the back, you have less weight in the car, period. But that fuel load is going to kind of shift that balance to the rear, and once you take it out, it's going to shift that balance, the mechanical balance, back to the front. And then you take 2 right tires. This thing, we're about to see something interesting play out here for either way.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Ward's about a second faster than our leader, so, I mean, you'd think he'd be making up time. He's still 19.6 seconds back. We got a long ways to go, though, 42 laps. The thing that I would question, Jared, he's got 13 cars to get by. How much is this going to hold him up?
I think everybody's kind of, looking through the field, there's a little bit of a battle. 11th place, Todd the Toadman Gilly and Austin Hunn, Jason Spear in that battle. But otherwise, I think he's going to have, once he gets through that, he's not going to have a whole lot to kind of mess with. It's just going to be one-on-one.
Well, I mean, once you get up to the top 5, Sheffield's not going to lay down. McCanny won't lay down. Ripka, Ratliff, these guys aren't going to lay down. So he's got his work cut out. He's got a lot of time to do it. I love
McCanny's heading on pit road, I think, Dean.
Yeah, McCanny's in.
The other thing I've been watching while y'all been talking about that, I see that Ratliff and Ripka are really pushing on George's door because they know, as being a veteran, what he is getting ready to do.
Absolutely. I mean, you're exactly right. This has been Leo all night long in second or leading, and now Ratliff and Ripka are thinking, okay, this could be our chance here. Let's get up here and take this thing. But it's so tough to pass, right, Adam?
You have to, Greg's trying to size them up going in the corner, but you got to get that air on that left nose to help that car turn, but not get crazy loose on the exit. And that's, what Greg is trying to search for right now. But yeah, it's real tough to pass.
Just watching this, it's very, very interesting to watch the strategic moves being played between these three of Leal, Ratliff, and Ripka, and then the strategy being played by Leal and McCanny on the flip side of this. Very interesting to see how this is going to play out. There's so many different things going on. Ratliff's going for it.
Yeah, Ratliff looking for a move here. Down on the inside of George Leal. Leal, again, looked like he was going to give it up, but maybe not. A little late on the corner there. It looks like Ratliff going to get this spot right here, right now. Ripka takes a peek down there too, but there's no room for him.
And don't count Sheffield back there either. He's right on the back of this battle.
I want to highlight a couple other people while I have a chance. Rachel Hunt up here, up 10 spots into 9th, having herself a nice little run. And you got James Bear. I'm not sure what James's strategy is. Let's take a look in on it before I comment here. So Bear pitted on lap 99. He should be good to go. I mean, wow, he's up 17 spots, Jared.
Yeah, doing a great job, and he's kept the car clean. He's been very consistent, and he's made great moves on the track. Can't hate that.
No, great night for the 25 so far. Ahead of him, Nate Maurer up 10. Now Maurer, we thought, looked like a potential winner at one point. He's stalled out just a little bit. Could be cagey, though. He could be saving something for later in this run. Right now, Greg Ratliff out front, leading the Rockingham 160.
Yeah, and I'm looking in on this battle right here in front of Jeff Ward. I mean, we got Jason Spear, Austin Hunn, Todd Gilly all in this group here, Dean, and I think that's going to – well, now Gilly's kind of falling off the back, but this is going to be where Ward's going to have a little bit tougher time, right, trying to get through here.
Yeah, I mean, even if he gets through clean, he's going to have slower lap times, taking different angles and different ways around this track. So it's going to slow him up. But right now, looks like Ward is 16 and a half seconds back. 33 laps, roughly, remaining.
And, Dean, I'm looking at these lap times, Dean, and I am skeptical that Ward is going to be able to catch back up. I think the two-tire strap, two tires is died. He's run the same laps as the leaders.
I have a drop box out front, Jared.
Yeah.
The briefcase can be placed in there. It's fine.
Well, if they start to get to racing side by side, that's going to play into his hands, though.
there's a lot that's going to play for him or against him here. I mean, his tire conservation, the way he running this track, that's all in his favor. He's got the speed. But these guys who get up on the outside of him, if any of them hold him up for even 2-3 laps apiece, he's got 12 more guys to get around. This is no easy task.
Yeah, I think I did not anticipate him taking just right side tires. I think that was, short run, 20 laps, 30 laps, go for it. 50 laps, I think that's too much, man. I said that earlier. I just don't know about that move. And, now he's got 31 laps to go. I just don't, yeah. Especially now you got Hunt and Hunt battling right in front of him.
Very interesting for sure. Olsen down on the apron. Not sure what that's going on there. Looks like a possible retirement for the 61. The old He Hut machine. Go check out the He Hut over on Facebook. Scooter's He Hut.
This race continues to kind of develop.
Quiet in Facebook and YouTube land tonight, Jared.
Yeah, we had the real Ryan Robb out here, and we don't know if he's real. But
I just speculated on whether he's real or not. He might have stopped all the comments. They're scared now. Jeff Ward now has moved by Gilly, moved by Hunt, up into 10th. Currently 15.8 seconds from Greg Ratliff, your points leader, your race leader. 28 laps to go.
15 seconds is how far Ward is behind the leaders. If he wants to win this race,
go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, if he wants to win this race, he's going to need to pick up this pace by about half a second more than he's already doing. So he's doing about a tenth to 2/10 quicker than our race leaders. And quite frankly, that's just not fast enough. It's just not fast enough. And now there he goes. He gets through some traffic. He did a 25.7. So that is in that range. But he is running out of time very, very quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I think the 2-tire stop hurts him. But if he did a 4-tire stop, he'd be another 5 seconds back. So,
yeah.
It's tough.
That's a tough one. We do have Dan Gilly out there. He said, hey, we're here, locked in on this race. And, boy, it has been a crazy race, in my opinion.
Well, Dan, let's do our Toad Man check-in here. Kailu Glass Machine, Todd the Toad Man Gilly, currently in 12th. He is up 6 spots on the evening. Pretty good night for Todd here. Rockingham, real tough track, so he's handled it well. Car looks clean. Good spot in 12th place right now.
Yeah, and he was battling up there with Rachel Hunt and Paul K. Travis there for a little bit, and he actually got around both those guys, and he's kept the car clean, so I don't know what else you could ask for, really.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole objective here in these long races. You got to keep her clean, keep her off the wall. We've seen guys like, say, Bruce hit the wall there a couple times. It seemed to have hurt him. His speed seems down a little bit. We've seen it from others as well. I mean, the wall here is just very dangerous, Jared.
It is. Don't get in that wall. It will suck you around on the straightaways, at least. It is very bad. But right now, I'm focusing on a couple battles. We got the battle for the lead. Ratliff getting a lot of pressure, Dean, from George Leal and Brandon Sheffield. He's come up. He got around Ripka a couple laps ago. Ripka's dropped all the way back to 4th now. Nathan Maurer is closing in on this battle. I'm also focusing on the battle for 6th place. James Ebert, Adam Recker, good battle there. And Darren Bruce and Jason Spear in a battle for 8th place. We got battles all over this track right now, Dean, and we got 23 laps to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Things heating up. Guys want their positions. You see Spear go way up the track. That's an interesting entry exit. He gets a huge run down into the next corner. He'll get underneath of the 15 of Darren Bruce. I think Bruce going to let him go. So great move there from the 83.
Yeah, and that's the line I was talking about, Dean. You either have to run the Jeff Ward line, hugging that apron, getting below the apron on that yellow line, or you have to get up there on that wall. Like, don't be scared of that wall. Jason Spears is definitely not. He's making moves up to 8th place. He's got a little bit of a distance. Adam Recker is within shot, but after that, it's going to be tough.
Sheffield gets a piece of the wall there, so Sheffield in third here. Doesn't look like it affected him very much. And I just told you, Jared, I'm very scared of the wall.
Yeah, it's like they're not even listening to you.
So the top 4 here, we got ourselves a race. We've been worried about whether Ward can catch up or not. He's still almost 14 seconds back. I'm going to say it at this point, no shot, Jared. It's over without a caution. Now, we got a battle up front. Greg Ratliff, George Leal, Brandon Sheffield, and Lance Ripka. It's anybody's game, but you cannot wait to make your move, can you, Jared? You got to start trying every lap from now on.
Oh, and Ratliff makes a big block down the front straightaway there, and Leal was trying to undercut him. Leal's going to go to the high side. That's a good move from Leal. I like this move. Pinch him down off the corner here. It's going to be tough for Greg to get a good run.
I think something happened with Ratliff. I don't know if he's blocking or he just got loose or something. It looked like he was really
he got
slow.
Loose.
Yeah, I apologize. He did get loose. I looked at that again. And now Leal right there on the door. Ratliff really loose. Contact.
Wow. So Ratliff's tire is going away. Leal back out front. I'm trying to make it 2 in a row. Here comes Sheffield after a great debut. He's trying to steal second. Nice roll through that corner. He'll take it.
So Sheffield to second, Ratliff to third, Ripka in this battle, and these lap times are starting to come way, way down, Dean, way down.
Yeah, they're definitely coming down. These guys now in the 26:20 to 26:50 range.
And I want to highlight something as well. Randy McCanny did take 4 tires. He's on that same strategy as Jeff Ward. McCanny is doing 25.9s. compared to Lear's doing 26.2s. So there isn't that much of a difference. And as you talked about, Dean, that gap that he would have taken, that extra 5 seconds he would have lost taking 4 tires, definitely a big factor in this too. So just to kind of put a cap on all that, McCanny doing a good job, but the 4-tire change I don't think would have been a good move for Ward either. So I think he kind of made his bed with not pitting earlier. I'm surprised it didn't work, but it hasn't.
I mean, when you said putting a cap on, I reached over, grabbed my crown, Jared, and put it back on.
Made of gold from all that winnings.
That's correct, sir. I've always wanted a scepter, by the way.
Oh, well, I guess you're going to be able to afford one now.
That's right. So Leal out leading, doing a nice job. I mean, George Leal now, clean air, 15 to go. Adam, if you're still with us, what do you think here? Is there any hope behind George? He's very steady.
I think he's being patient for that traffic. Just from what I can see from my vantage point. I've been dabbling on that top line last couple laps. Yeah, they need to move up. That's going to be the key to winning this race.
Well, I was unaware. Adam Newton in the booth and on the track. This I did not know. So
we got in-car reporter.
We got actual in-car action here out of the Bulldog. I love it. Love that paint too. The AC Delco machine.
Yeah, a couple laps ago, I saw the 2-car. I thought it was a 2-car, and I thought I was hallucinating. I was like, no, Adam's in the booth. He can't be on the track. But Adam Newton, the man of many trades.
Man, we've been warning him about texting and driving and such. This is a whole nother level.
And
we got wrecking Paul K. Travis. Paul K. Travis in the dirt. The 10 down there. No caution. These guys are stopped in the grass with no caution.
And Travis is towed.
What in tarnation is going on? That did not trigger a caution.
And what happened is, Paul K. just got the safer barrier where it kind of juts back in. I think he mistimed it, and the 10 car there just nowhere to go. Ricky Williams nowhere to go, and that race could have been turned upside down. I'm shocked that's not a caution, but yeah, for Brandon Sheffield and George Leal, they're happy.
They're happy. Here we go. Sheffield all over the back of George Leal. So Sheffield making his debut last week looks solid. Did not qualify, I don't believe. This week he does. Now he's racing for the lead. He's looking fast. Can he work around him? We're on board.
And Sheffield going to go down into the corner. And he's just riding right there. Get that left front on that air. Let it cut down. doing a good job with that. And you watch right now, Leal just, with that outside line, is able to get more momentum, but Sheffield catches right back up on entry.
Yeah, Sheffield, he's really walking that line, doing a nice job. Leal, though solid, gets a nice run off the corner and opens it up again. That's what I'm talking about with Leal. Leal seems to have that ability to back it down and then speed it back up again, Jared.
Yeah, he does, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this is going to play out for 9 laps. We do have some lap traffic. Rachel Hunt there is about 2 or 3 seconds ahead of this battle. You got Todd Gilly another further 3 or 4 seconds ahead of this as well, that they might come into play before this race is over.
So from the back of Rachel Hunt, we look at Leal coming up on her.
I'm really surprised that he hasn't moved up.
Well, there you go. Getting our information from the Bulldog in here. I mean, I'm surprised there's nobody running the high side either, honestly. And Sheffield, I think he needs to make a move, but he's just so content. Maybe he's not confident to run that high side, Dean.
And we look back at Ward working on Spear, but surprisingly, I'm sarcastically saying his car is very loose, Jared.
Yeah, I wondered, you know, when we saw him take those 2 tires, I wondered how much that was going to affect as the race went on, because those left sides, I mean, people underrate the use, but they give up.
Well, the left sides, I mean, I value them. I mean, you know, it's known to go on a super speedway and take lefts only, Jared.
Right, left sides matter. I mean, you know, you can't
That's right.
neglect
Hashtag. I got my fist in my ear right now.
Oh my goodness.
So Leal and Sheffield, Leal's opening it back up. I've said this, he's so impressive with this ability he has to kind of let people roll up to him, but then he can separate again. It's just extremely impressive.
Well, the other thing too is George Leal, Dean, he has got a lot of confidence. He got that win last week, Dean, and he's already kind of he's come so close a couple times before that, gotten some wins before that in other series and things like that. But right now, he's kind of putting all that stuff to use, and he's gotten the catbird seat, right?
Well, we talk about it all the time. Confidence, right, Jared?
Absolutely.
I mean, we've seen Person rattle off some great finishes in, 3, 4, 5 races in a row. We've seen Beller have that kind of success. We've seen Wrecker have that kind of, Newton, who's with us, that kind of success. But, it comes and it goes. And when it's there, you better capitalize on it.
Yeah, y'all missed a heck of a save by Nate. Nate got into the 5. And Ripka hit the wall in 1 and 2, and that killed their momentum.
Yeah, Newton right in that battle. Our in-race reporter giving us some updates here. And, Dean, I looked up to it, and, it looked like Maurer got in there deep and just couldn't get slowed down, ran right into the side of Ratliff. Could have been a big wreck, and really lucky there wasn't a big wreck there.
We check back with Ward. He's been working on Spear for about 10 laps to no avail. Jason holding him off on the high side. 2 to go, coming down to the white flag.
Oh, and Spear in the wall, wrecking. Spear hit the wall and got turned. That's going to bring out a yellow.
Oh my goodness, we are going to shake it up here tonight. What has happened?
Yeah, he hit that safer barrier, where that safer barrier comes back into the standard wall, clipped it, and it slammed him right into the wall, right in front of Ward. Nothing Ward could do there.
So here comes Jason. Yeah, and he just got that on his own. Ward gives him a little nudge around. I mean, Rockingham's not a place you can move up and down the track very easily. So around he goes. Not a bunch of damage, but my goodness, what to do now? I mean, tires going to be a necessity. They're all going to come in, I would think. Does someone stay out here?
Oh, you stay out, you're dead meat.
Absolutely.
You're dead meat. I can't imagine. I would do a 2-strat tire.
Oh, race is over. No green, white checker. That's on me. That's
and that's
bad.
A big mistake.
And Leal's down pit road.
Pulled off.
So is Maurer. Race.
My gosh, they gave up the race.
That's going to be Sheffield taking the victory.
What
no!
Oh my gosh, what a mess up. It didn't give us a green, white checker.
No green-white checker. Leal checks into pit road. Maurer goes in. Wrecker goes in. Bruce and Hun all go to pit road and lose spots because of it. I think Leal will cross the line on pit road and get third. Wow, Maurer will get fifth, but it's Brandon Sheffield taking the victory, gifted to him, almost like someone giving me $1 million.
That was a Mark Martin move right there, buddy.
Oh
Big
my
time.
goodness. It really was.
Wasn't it at this track when Mark Martin did that?
That is a Bristol, but similar.
But I mean, he did it. It was twice, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know Bristol for sure in the Winn-Dixie Ford that he used to run. But wow, I am shocked at what I've just seen here.
George Leal also shocked. He has gone to the garage. He is swearing at his crew chief currently. Tell him, why would you tell me to come in? Right now, though, the 36 down in victory lane. Unbelievable. You'll take them, Jared. I don't care how you get them. Put it in the victory column.
Yeah, a win's a win, bud. That's all you can say.
Holy cow. We always say anything can and will happen, and it just did. Don't know that I've ever seen that happen before, other than what is described by Mr. Adam Newton. That was amazing and heartbreaking all at the same time.
Well, what caught my attention was when we came to the yellow and threw the white flag, but never said green, white, checkered. It was like it didn't even register it.
Yeah, something a little off there tonight. What are you going to do, though? You got to pay attention to these things. Sheffield did. He grabs the win. Here's your results. Greg Ratliff will be second. Lance Ripka third. George Leal's going to fall to fourth, apparently. I'm not sure about this official race result situation, but Maurer fifth, Hebert sixth, Ward, Wrecker, Spear, and Bruce. So Ward finishes in seventh. That's interesting. That's okay. Not what he was hoping for. A little further back, you got Gilly, Hunt, McCanny, Dibble, Walker, Whiting, Williams, Travis, and others. You can find your favorite driver in there. But it's Brandon Sheffield, Jared. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm without words. Yeah.
Great race by him, and that's why you always stay in it, isn't it, Jared? You never give up.
Yeah, and you look at those results. The timing and scoring, it is just by thousands that Lance Ripka got George Leal, and that's wow. I mean, unbelievable.
Super unbelievable. Can't believe what we just saw. Let's take a short commercial break. We'll catch our breath and talk to, I hope, the top three finishers. All right, back here at the Rock. Brandon Sheffield, your winner. It looks like on one screen I've got Ripka in third, on another I got Leal in third. What do we got officially, Jared? Any knowledge on that?
Yeah, it's Ripka third and Ratliff second, Sheffield first, officially.
All right, so Lance Ripka will finish in third. We'll bring him right into the booth and get a chat with him. Mr. Lance Ripka, you're going to take third place tonight. Congratulations, buddy.
All right, thanks. I don't know how long it's going to stand. I think there was a glitch in the matrix there, so but I'll sit here and talk with you guys.
Absolutely. There might have been a glitch in the matrix. Just no green-white checkered. Some guys come down pit road. That's the mistakes on them, Lance.
Yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, it's in the rules, and we should have one, and they were expecting one, and I guess I mean, if they let it stand, they let it stand. It was a tough, fun race, though.
Yeah, well, let's talk more about the race and whether it's third or fourth. Lance, you persevered out here. Tough track, tough night. I mean, it was really hard to get a feel for the high line or any particular line. What were you feeling out there?
I didn't feel like I had the speed on the short run. I felt like I was coming into it right there in the middle, um, but I just never had enough drive off the corner to make passes. So I run really hard to try to stay out in front of people, but like I said, it was just I didn't have the drive off the corner to stay out in front.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and the passing being so difficult, Lance, what did you have to do to get by someone? Was it like really just hound them till they make a mistake, or was there something you could do out there?
That's to say, you had to wait for them to make a mistake, and in the top four, they weren't making mistakes. So, yeah, you just had to be patient and just jump on any opportunity you could.
Well, Lance, you're fully back into the swing now. I can almost feel the disappointment of not being in victory lane yet. Are you itching to get back into victory lane?
Oh, without a doubt. I think everybody itches getting victory lane. It's been a while. I think it's coming. I just got to keep getting the car up front, get these good finishes, and um, the wins will start coming again.
You better believe they will, Lance. We look forward to it. You're one of the best out here, persevering here tonight with a third, a fourth. We're not quite sure yet, but nonetheless, congrats on another solid run. Can't wait to see you back in victory lane. I'm sure it'll happen sooner than later. Congrats on third. We'll give you the floor, brother.
Give a shout out to the guys at Spartan Racing, James Hebert, and all the other two. They're not really showing up much, but anyway, shout out to them. Ripka Designs, New Tech, Rental, all the boys in the background that make this happen, and you guys putting on a good broadcast.
All right, Jared. That's possible third place finisher, Mr. Lance Buckshot Ripka.
Yeah, and I'm down here with I think runner-up Greg Ratliff. And Greg, we'll start with what's the official scoring look like right now? Is it's where are we sitting with that?
Well, it is what it is for right now. We'll probably talk about it and make a determination.
All right, so that just wanted to clear that up for our audience out there to let everybody know where RGR Racing League was standing on that result. That was a little bit confusing. But Greg, let's talk about the race, man. What a race it was. I mean, you started up there in second place and pretty much ran second, third all race. How difficult was Rockingham here today?
Rockingham is a very difficult track. It's a driver's track where you got to get with it, but you still have to manage those tires. I mean, it's critical. It's one of the harder places to do that, I think. And man, we just got we got a crew of drivers now. I mean, with the top notch. We got some fast guys.
Yeah, we had two cautions the entire race, one on lap 37, one on lap 159. And Greg, talk about how, this race, managing those tires, the first part of the race, it looked like you were just kind of sitting there riding behind Leal. And then the second part of that race, Jeff Ward stormed out to a 5-second lead. Did you think that he was going to be matched tonight?
No, at that point in time, I didn't. No, I really didn't, because he just drove away, and I was thinking, nobody's going to catch that guy. And then he made some kind of mistake on his pit call, and it ended up he had to make a pit stop or something there that he wasn't planning on.
Well, yeah, it was entertaining to watch the battle up front and then the strategy battle with Ward to see if he could get back up. But there at the end of that race, Greg, you're on the back of Leal. You get back in the lead. Then you ended up losing the lead there, and then you dropped all the way back to, at the time, third place. Sheffield got around you. I mean, it's such a great battle. I mean, you guys, it seemed like you were just fighting the entire time, trying to find some grip and some racing room out there.
Oh yeah, me and George made it exciting there coming off of turn 4. Just made a little bit of contact and had to hang on to it there. But yeah, I probably should have, in all rights, been a third or fourth place car. I ran a little bit too hard. George had the best car tonight, I think, long run. Or maybe possibly Jeff Ward. I don't know what his situation was exactly, but Brandon wasn't no slouch either. He was on his game. So congrats to him on the win.
Well, Greg, sometimes that's the breaks, right? That's racing, right? Sometimes the third, fourth best car wins the race, and sometimes the best car finishes 20th. But tonight you got second place. Congrats on that. You increase your point lead heading to the next race. But I'm going to turn the floor over to you, let you have the last word on your race here tonight, Greg.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that helps out running the league. George Dibble, Todd Gilley. Lance has stepped up recently. He's going to make some T-shirts. We're going to sell them. We got that going on. Affordable Construction Specialist on the Truck Series. We want to shout out to them for keeping us on the air for a whole season. And then just all the drivers, everybody that's come on recently. Can't say enough about them. You guys for broadcasting. It's very enjoyable to watch. The next day, I watch it first thing in the morning. I'm retired, so I have my coffee and watch a broadcast. So, yeah, just and congrats again. Well, on Brandon, we'll see what goes on there, but yeah, we'll have to talk about that finish and see what we come up with.
Well, it was a great race tonight, Dean, and Greg Rowlett extended that point lead. Good second place for him tentatively.
Yeah, absolutely. Great run by him. There's no doubt about it. But one guy did a little bit better, got a little bit of a gift as well. Newcomer, the 36, Brandon Sheffield, second race into victory lane. Congratulations, Brandon.
I don't know how to feel after this one, I'll be honest.
You got to feel thrilled, excited, and it goes into the victory column. 10 years from now, nobody will know the difference, Brandon.
Well, I guess. I was the first guy on the mic after that thing ended to say, nope, give that, call it at the time of caution. Give me second, give George first, and let's call it that way, because there was definitely an iRacing glitch there that race should have been extended and wasn't for whatever reason. So, well, I don't know. If they give it to me, they give it to me, and I'll be happy about it, but I'd much rather see it end the way it should have ended.
I agree and disagree, Brandon. I always say, what could I do different? It's on the driver. Of course, there's a glitch, there's a problem, but anyway, you did it right. You stayed out. You seen there's no green-white checker. You take the victory, man. Just tell us a little bit about your ride. Not only your ride tonight, but maybe last week a little bit too. I mean, a couple races into this league, you're around guys who are seemingly very evenly matched with you, Brandon. It's got to be a lot of fun.
It's a ton of fun because I'm still, trying to build a reputation here around these guys. So it's very much race the racetrack. If somebody's quicker than you, let them go. Give a lot of room. Don't really, if you catch somebody, show them a nose a couple times. If they close the door, fine. Wait a couple more laps and go back after them again. And when you do that, you're focusing more on the racetrack and what you're doing rather than, I don't like that guy, so I got to go beat him. Like as you run in some other leagues, sometimes you get that way. When you race the racetrack and you keep your tires underneath you, then all of a sudden you look up and you're, third, second place here in that last run.
Yeah, I mean, and you're into full mastery, right? Your pit stops matter, your entries matter, how you get in and out of your stall matters. I mean, it brings a lot of elements in, tire saving, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I ran a super late model race here years ago, and for some reason in those cars, I figured out to just hook the yellow line all the way around, and that was the best way to keep the right front tire on the car. So, you guys probably noticed, you probably called it out, but especially into 3, I was like left sides on the apron almost, and in 1 and 2, I did not do a diamond whenever possible, or if I did, I just did a little baby diamond up off the yellow line and right back to it, because I was just trying to hook that yellow line to keep the thing turning and keep the right front on the car. Some runs it worked better than others, and then I knew I wanted to extend that last pit stop if we were going to go green, extend that as long as I possibly could, because I noticed I fell off pretty hard there the last 5-10 laps of that middle run. So I wanted to have fresher tires than those guys around me, because I felt like I was decent in the middle part of the run, and then if I could get clean air and just be able to go run my own pace, that I'd be okay.
Yeah, well, Jared talked a lot about it during the broadcast, running that paint, helping that car turn. You describe it exactly the same way. You know what you're doing. That's why you're in victory lane, Brendan. It's unbelievable. I love how these things, turn out. You're having a green flag run, and everything is kind of settled almost, and then whoop, we're going to throw a wrench into it. It happens all the time, Brendan.
Well, I knew, I had a tire advantage on George. And so, when I caught those guys, there was 3 of them out there, I was 4th. Yeah, because Buckshot was in there. And I made a late move on Buckshot, and I feel bad about it still, because I should have just waited on their corner because I wasn't quite there. And he was nice enough to give me room and kind of let me go. And then I took a couple shots at George there as he was riding behind Greg, couldn't get there. And then him and Greg did whatever they did, and Greg was down on the bottom side there, and I just filled the hole, and he was, again, nice enough to give me room and kind of let me go off of 2 there. And then I took another couple cracks at George, couldn't get there, got to the inside of him. He pinched me a couple times and kind of resigned myself to, this is it. I'm kind of out of tires now, so I was just riding, searching around, trying to find something, knew there was nothing there, and just ride to the end of the race, and then all of a sudden chaos happens.
Well, Brandon, we want to say congrats on this victory, number 1. And I want to say congrats really on the interview as well, because we like what we're hearing. You're racing the RGR way, a lot of give and take out there. These guys really appreciate it. The league is continuing to add people of value. You're one of them. Couldn't be more happy for you. Congrats on this victory. We'll give you the floor. Anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you'd like to thank?
I told you, man, on Sunday, fan club's open. Come on over.
I'm already there, brother. I bet on you. That's a lie. But,
I got to thank the rest of my teammates over at GDR. So that's Jason Jackson, Derek Whitford, Ed and Nick. I got to get to Nick and get a paint job on this car for next week if we're going to run it again. I got to thank you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast. I watched the one back from Sunday. You guys do a great job. Or from Thursday. You guys do a great job. And got to thank the RGR guys. These guys put on an amazing league and a bunch of great guys to work with. And congrats to George, the rightful winner of this race. I'll end there.
All right, Jared. Brandon Sheffield down in Victory Lane. Not sure if he's allowed to drink champagne yet or not.
Yeah, Dean. What a race. And we still, I think there is some official discussion about it. But either way, second or first, great race for him. Had a great drive all night. He was coming at the end of that race. I think had we had a green white checker, who knows what would have happened, right? But great run, and what a race. We had a lot to talk about the entire time, and not to mention we had the Bulldog up here reporting in from his car.
I want to go to the Bulldog right now, Adam. Disappointment for you, that's obvious. It was just an unfortunate incident there. We don't even know what to say about that. That aside, tell me, this league, these drivers, man, it's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good thing, but I think if I was Brandon, I'd pop the champagne bottle.
You better believe you would.
The race wasn't set up for a green-white checker, so it was official when it ended. So this is going to get interesting.
Well, it is. We'll see. It's not official if someone pits.
Well, I would
it's never
go
official.
off the
You don't freeze frame
rule.
it at the point. You still got to ride around the track and cross the line.
That is true, but
it could be interesting for sure.
Yeah, these are the debates that are going to go on. I'm just playing advocate there. I don't like saying the other name involved in that term.
Yeah, it's been great racing, and I noticed Brandon had a lot of speed, so congrats to him. And depending on what they do, it could be a heartbreaker for George.
Well, it was a heartbreaker for you, Adam. We can't wait to see you next time out. We'll see you in the Truck Series next. I'm sure you'll have something to say about that, right thick in that battle. So back on the horse, Mr. Bulldog.
Yep.
Jared, a lot going on. We talked about it. I love this stuff. You got all the different strategies going on, different events going on, a couple little spins here and there. Paul K on entrance gets sideways, a couple of guys through the grass, one does a two-wheeler around the wall, and then we have chaos at the end, which always up in the booth, it makes it fun for us.
Yeah, and you know, we could have had we could have had some other cautions, right? There was almost a caution a couple times that just didn't happen. So this race could have been really just turned up on its head a couple times, but unfortunately, I mean, we saw some good runs ruin. I mean, Paul K, great run, ruined there at the end of that race, you know, when he got loose there. Jason Spear, tough break. I mean, he brought that when he hit the wall, got turned by Jeff Ward, was running 7th when that happened, and unfortunately with that caution ended up finishing further back because he didn't get pinched. Michael Walker got caught up in a wreck. Obviously, Adam Newton with the bug glitch that happened to Mike Brown there. So just a tough race, but man, at the end of the day, these guys did a great job. 2 cautions and 160 laps. You can't ask for more than that, Dean, and what a great job. A lot of respect out there.
Well, you can ask for more. I don't know if you'll get more, and maybe we'll have more for you next Sunday. So make sure you come and check out RGR Racing League every Sunday, 9:10 p.m. But here from the Rock, let's get me up for myself, Team Doucette, for Mr. Jared Carr. That'll wrap it up. We'll see you right here next time.